last run at securing a mixed martial arts championship. Taylor wants to make a name for himself. Let's see what goes down in the Arizona desert.
Ready, go.
And I expect Taylor to start quick in this fight.
Riggs coming out of southpaw.
Riggs already getting serenaded with a chant of Diesel.
Lewis Taylor said he learned in his only loss against Nate Moore to be more patient, and we're seeing that here.
Coming off a head kick knockout win in his last fight, delivers a body kick to Riggs. There's a high head kick by Riggs that just shaves the chin of Taylor.
Both being very tentative. I think they're both worried about each other's power. Both guys are dangerous with strikes.
I think to set up that straight left hand of Joe Riggs, he's got to use that right jab a little bit.
Riggs with a single leg, slips out of them, now with the underhooks.
Taylor, nice job. Yeah, he shut down the takedown, slipped out of it, and then hit a reshot right away on Riggs.
Strafed the rib cage with that solid right hand, did Taylor. Both well-versed wrestlers. Riggs, a former two-time All-American, and of course we talked about Taylor's wrestling pedigree at Eastern Illinois University. He's trained with the likes of Vladimir Matyushenko, Brock Lesnar, and the aforementioned Matt Hughes.
Yeah, Eastern Illinois has put out a lot of great wrestlers, but Riggs, he's been around for a long time. The boy knows how to wrestle.
Takedown by Taylor, looking to pass the guard, but the veteran Riggs secures the closed guard, controlling the wrists of Taylor.
Yeah, I think Riggs gave that takedown away. He didn't want to end up getting slammed and landing awkwardly.
Of course, we're going to see if Joe's got a good guard game here. We haven't seen a lot of jiu-jitsu from him in the past.
Although he does have 14 wins via submission, very well-rounded, 15 wins via KO.
Can't let Riggs walk those legs up. Riggs, you can see, got him up underneath the armpits of Taylor. Taylor needs to posture up.
Taylor keeping the head down at the right time to avoid the triangle.
Strike from the bottom by Riggs. Wing blocking, and there again, that left hand just flicking it at the chin of Taylor. Taylor's trying to extricate his arms from Riggs. Stands up, backs out, wants Riggs to get back on his feet.
Didn't feel something that he liked, that's for sure. Time to stand up.
Taylor very wary of pulling the trigger with punches in the standing mode, which I think is surprising. But I noticed one thing, that Taylor's dropping his right hand.
Superman punch attempt by Riggs. Riggs trying to gauge the distance.
I'm surprised they're both being this tentative this far into the round.
Well, it's the first round, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Again, Riggs has had health issues in the past. Back surgery, says he's the healthiest he's been. Fires off that straight left through the guard. Tags Taylor. But you're right. Wait and see attitude by both fighters. Just really barely testing the waters here in round 1.
Taylor threw a lazy punch, and Riggs caught him with that straight left. And I think Taylor knows that Riggs is the better boxer here.
Definitely took a couple steps back after that straight left.
Oh, right hand by Taylor.
Taylor used that ground game from the top, but he really didn't accomplish much in top position.
Riggs mixing things up inside the leg kick. Might want to deliver a few more of those, Pat. Go for the takedown, perhaps. Although, against Taylor, he probably wants to keep it standing and look for the knockout.
Absolutely, and Riggs just checked one of Taylor's kicks. That'll definitely make a guy quit kicking after a while. You can see Taylor's not kicking quite as hard now. Doesn't want to injure his own shin.
Riggs wants to suck Lewis Taylor forward and land that straight left hand again. But Lewis is being tentative, as we said before.
Spinning back elbow there by Taylor. Suck clap in Muay Thai.
Nice knee.
Now they're battling along the fence. Final 10 seconds of what has been a tentative opening round between Taylor and Riggs. We're headed to round 2.
Hold on, back to your corner, back to your corner.
An astute observation by Riggs' corner man, because we saw the evidence that he was saying that Taylor's beginning to get tired, Stephen, and those deep breaths lend a lot to that story there.
And I think that would signal that Joe Riggs should go to the body. If Lewis Taylor is getting tired, but Joe's got to be careful not to throw a kick to the body. And it would be that left roundhouse kick, but it'll get taken down. Go with that straight left to the body, and I believe that Joe Riggs won that first round.
Coach, you concur with the fight professor?
I would say so, yes. Not a lot to argue there. Taylor's corner was telling him to throw that looping right hand, which works against lefties. I just don't know if it's going to work on Riggsy.
If he throws the looping right hand just from out of left field without a setup, Joe's going to counter him.
Special thank you to all the troops watching the main event and this Strikeforce card on Showtime on the American Forces Network. We really appreciate everything that you do. Superman punch connects from the southpaw Riggs.
Taylor, good reaction though. Tried to throw a counter. He might have landed it. Happened very fast.
Taylor does drop his hands when he punches, though.
Riggs now wanting to get Taylor to come forward, as you mentioned, Stephen, in the last round, but very tentative. He's the counter puncher.
You know, Taylor being a wrestler, he's faking the right leg and coming with the left leg. Good uppercut by Taylor there.
I'd like to see Joe Riggs unload a 1 or 2 punch combination, maybe even a 3-punch combination.
Body shot from Taylor, backed up Riggs. There's the left hand, comes forward. And there you go, tries the combo.
You know, both guys are trying to be counter fighters in this also.
Sloppy shot there, and Riggs telegraphed it, or excuse me, Taylor telegraphed it. Riggs read it all the way.
Shut it down quickly.
I think you're correct, Pat. Both guys are trying to counter each other. And this is unusual for Lewis Taylor. Usually he comes out like a house on fire.
When you're fighting a guy that's trying to counter you, you need to throw more fakes. Expect them to counter what they think is real, and then counter them, set them up. And both these guys need to start doing more of that.
There's Taylor coming forward, and he catches Riggs, goes, drops down.
Tell you what, great head movement by Riggs, though, man. That was some nice stuff. Nice stuff there.
Yeah, out of the 4 punches thrown, only one landed, and he partially shielded it.
Taylor tries to drop down a level. Riggs maneuvers his weight, stuffs it, and just now looking for the body shot. Taylor striking as they break from the clinch.
So far, it's not a barn burner.
No. As you mentioned, though, both guys trying to counter each other. Kind of a wash.
Taylor's starting to lead with his head. He's going to pay for this if he keeps doing it.
And again, Taylor looking for the takedown. Riggs defending it, but now brought down. And Taylor's corner imploring him to punish him now.
He's got to do that. He might even think about trying to get side control. Slip that right leg out.
Elbow to the ribcage. Another elbow from Taylor. We saw him attempt a spinning back elbow in the stand-up. Riggs content to just control Taylor on the ground. Final 60 seconds of the middle stanza of this catchweight bout being fought at 182 pounds between Joe Diesel Riggs, the hometown favorite, and Chicago's Lewis Handguns Taylor. Riggs shrimping his hips, very active on the bottom.
Doing a great job trying to control that left arm of Taylor. If they can't get that left arm underneath you when they're in half guard, they have no anchor to move up your body. So Riggs has been doing a lot to try and get rid of that anchor. Taylor almost got mount there. Good job by Riggs to recover. It's one of the toughest positions to get away from a wrestler also when they're in half guard here. They're able to get that left arm under like he did. It's a real pain to get rid of him here. Riggs has got to get that anchor out and get moving.
10 seconds,
But is it enough to steal a tentative round?
Yeah, the wick is yet to be lit here in Phoenix, Arizona. The end of round 2.
Time!
Always a pleasure hearing from one of the nicest guys in the sport, Randy the Natural Couture. Final round here, Taylor versus Riggs. Riggs in the red gloves, Taylor in the blue. Need to put the pedal to the metal, right, guys?
Yeah, Taylor got knee checked again with that left roundhouse kick. So I doubt he's going to be throwing that again.
What do you want to see more out of each fighter here, Coach, in the 3rd round?
Well, I tell you what, as I said before, Taylor needs to quit leading with his head. He's walking forward, moving his feet first before his hands move. You can't do that. You tell your opponent when you're coming. Also, Riggs needs to recognize that and just start shooting stuff down the middle when Taylor comes forward.
It's one of those things when you get over 40 fights, sometimes you can be a little bit too patient. And that fire needs to be lit up. Side kick? Interesting.
It's interesting that in the interviews leading up to this fight, Joe Riggs was a little frustrated. Oh, the left hand maybe alleviating some of that frustration as he rocks Taylor. And Taylor smartly goes for the clinch, trying to clean out the cobwebs. I was going to say that Riggs was a little frustrated with the fact he wasn't getting many fights with Strikeforce. They give him an opportunity to headline in his hometown, and now he's finally showing what he's capable of doing.
Now we potentially get to watch the guy that I think is the best in the world at ground and pound. This guy drops sick bombs.
And there's a series of left hands by Diesel Riggs. Could this be the beginning of the end for Lewis Handguns Taylor? He appears to still be hurt.
That left hand exploded in Taylor's face.
That definitely rocked him. Set up the takedown. Riggs on top.
Blood.
Oh, look at this. He's got that arm
coming
drop.
from his nose. Crucifix. And he's tapping via crucifix. Joe Diesel Riggs wins it in his hometown. May have started a little slow and tentative, but Joe Diesel Riggs closes the show here at the Dodge Theater with a victory over Lewis Taylor.
And he did it in a dominant fashion.
Awesome, Joey. Well, it took Joe Riggs a while to get going, but I tell you what, man, he's got a vicious left hand. There it was, looped it in. Taylor obviously hurt, did not enjoy that at all. There it is again, boom. Taylor landed a left hook at the same time, just not as clean. Riggs has some very powerful punches. Here he is trapping the arm, dropping the bombs. Riggs, I tell you what, when that guy gets on top, he goes to work. It's not fun being underneath him, no matter how good you are. Here it is again. You can see the terror on Taylor's face. Horrible, horrible position when you can't. It's like having your arms tied behind a chair and somebody punching you in the face. Not fun.
No, it wasn't. A Joe Riggs started off tentative, but ended up completely dominating this one. And let's go up to cage side.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to an end at 2 minutes, 7 seconds of round number 3. The fighter tapped out. He is the winner by TKO, Joe